So we've thrown some clips down here on our timeline, and now we're going to explore the timeline settings a little further. Before I do that, I want to go in here and let's see here. This is really out of place. I don't want that there yet. So in our timeline, up here the blue line was called the playhead. Down here, we can also call it the playhead. And J, K, and L still works down here. So I'm rewinding with J, fast forwarding with L, stopping with K, or the space bar. Space bar plays and stops. All right. It's called the current time indicator. So it tells us the current time within our sequence. So we're 11 seconds and 49 frames in. Let's say if we want to make a precise edit, we knew it can only be 10 seconds long. You can click up here, hit 10 for seconds, and then 0 frames, and hit enter, and it moves the current time indicator to the exact point in our sequence. So what I want to do here is I want to delete. Okay. I want to delete this clip right here because that's not where I want it. So select the clip where the current time indicator is, just hit the D button, and it selects it. So if I back it up, stop, hit D, it selects that clip. You can tell it's selected because it's highlighted. Select it, I'm hit the delete button, you gone. Alright, back to my project window. I want to go ahead and throw in the feet. What shot was that? 3? No. There we go. All right, clip 7 is clearly Chick-fil-A guy's feet. Fast forward here. All right, got a little out of focus. Let's see here.
Ready.
Stop it right there. In, point, I, out. 2 seconds worth. That's good. Shift 3. Notice how my current time indicator was in the middle of nowhere. So I'm going to hit the down button, or up arrow. Puts it at the end of my last clip. Comma, inserts it, back to my project window, clip H be the RAM feed, it is,
All right, yeah.
Let's see here, he starts right there, looks like he's dancing, hit the end point, out point, let's see here.
Are you dancing? There you go.
Yeah, I centered him up a little better, let's see what shot wasn't centered, so I start my end point about right here. 55:29.
Dancing? There you go.
And about there for my out point. Again, about 2 seconds and 10 frames, equal time. Down here in my timeline, my sequence, I'm already at the end of the last clip. Hit comma, and it inserts. All right. I'm gonna hit Command Z. I'm gonna undo that for just a second. I'm gonna show you what insert looks like. So I'll hit Shift 3, go back to my sequence. Let's say I want to insert the RAM feet before we see the RAM. So I want to go right here. So I hit my insert button, and notice how it moved all my clips down, and it put the feet there
Are you
first.
dancing? There you go. Okay, here's one.
So again, insert, put your clip exactly where the playhead is, your CTI, and moves everything else out of the way. So it moves them down. Alright, so inside our sequence, we can barely tell what's going on because we're so zoomed out. To zoom in, you can hit the plus sign. You know, so it gives us more information. Or you can hit the minus sign to zoom out. The slash above the return button makes your sequence fit the screen. So I like to use that one because no matter how big your sequence is, if you hit that button, it makes it fit the timeline window. So these are called tracks. Right now we're on video track 1 and audio track 1. If we want to layer, if we want to have a title, we would use video track 2 or B-roll and then put the titles on video track 3. You can just click and drag, and so now it's on video track 3, but it has no effect on our video. See that? Command Z to undo it, put it back in video track 1. For our silent films, we want to disconnect. We want only the video, no audio. So you select your clip, you can hit D, you can click on the clip, you can draw a box around the clip, whatever you want to do. You can hit Command A. Then you're going to right click, go to unlink, and it unlinks the audio and the video portions. So now when I select it, it's just, notice how it's just the video part, versus right here when I select it, it's the audio. Before we remove it, notice over here when I play it, these are your audio media. It tells you how loud it is.
Dancing? There you go. Okay, here's one.
Alright, so we want to get rid of the audio. So I click on it and hit delete. And the audio is gone. So I want to do it for all of them. Command A, right click that, just do that. I already done linking. Okay. Draw a box around all my audios and hit delete. And now they're gone. Okay. Here's some tools, some quick tools. Let's say right now we're using the selection tool, which allows us to select clips, right? Using the selection tool, if I go towards the end of a clip, notice how it turns this red bracket. That allows me to edit down here in the timeline. So let's say, I'm going to go to the end, I'm hitting the down arrow to jump to the end of this last clip. If I hit the left arrow, it goes 1 frame at a time. So I hit the arrow, right now we're at 1428, hit the arrow again, 1427. So I'm moving a frame at a time with the left and right arrows. Up and down takes me to the end of each clip. At the plus sign I can zoom in. Also it tells me how long I am here. I'm 14 seconds in. As I keep zooming in. I'll zoom back out. Alright, selection tool. I'm at the end. It turns to a red bracket. And it points to the direction where I can drag to edit. So I want to shorten this one up. Click and drag it. And it's telling me, see how the clip's getting shorter? I zoomed in some by hitting the plus sign. Because you can make finer edits when you zoom in. So right now it's saying duration, we're at 2 seconds and 2 frames. I'm going to click and drag it in. I'm going to shorten it. I want it to be 1 second and 40 frames. And let go. Okay, so then I made just a little edit there. Let's say I made the cow feet to be 1 minute and 40 frames. I want the ram feet to be the same. So there's another tool over here. It's called Ripple Edit. You can do it with the B. So I'm going to click on my tools panel, Ripple Edit. And what this does, it's a yellow bracket. So when I shorten this clip, it's automatically going to move the rest of the clips down. I want it to be 1 minute and 40. Or excuse me, 1 second, 40 frames. And notice how it shifted all of my clips. If I was using only the selection tool, and let's say I shorten clip number 5, I just want it to be 2 seconds. Notice how it leaves a gap. So that's the difference. A ripple edit, when you edit something using the ripple edit tool, it automatically moves everything else down with it. So now we have this gap here. The way you get rid of the gap is a ripple delete. You right click in this empty space, hit ripple delete, and it moved everything else down. So we have selection tool, we have your ripple edit. Another tool is the razor tool that we'll use. So let's say we're watching this, using J to rewind. Clearly the RAM is going a little too crazy. I want to stop. Let's see. Right there. Take that back. Right there. Right before he claps. I don't want to see him clap. Alright. If I hit C is my shortcut for my razor blade, or click on the razor blade over here. Notice how my icon turns to a razor blade. And I put it on the CTI and click. I go hit V for my selection tool. Move my current time indicator. Notice how it made a cut in the clip. Now we can't see the cut when we play. But what it would allow us to do is to select this and delete it if we wanted to. Or select it and move it. Okay. So that's one way you can make a cut. It's one way you can edit down the timeline. Another way you can make a cut with a shortcut is hit Command K. So right here, Command K. Alright, ripple delete. So this is our master sequence. This is our program monitor. It's showing our finished product. I'm going to play this out. It's really thrilling. That scene's way too long. Feet, ram feet. Then we see the ram. Cow feet. Back to the ram. It's a little owl sequence there for sure. Let's see here. I like seeing the ram feet before I see the ram, so I want the cow feet before I see the cow. I think I can slide it. I don't know what that did. That clearly didn't work. Alright. So, some basics. When we're ready to export. So that's basic cut editing. So all we're doing is we're cutting, we're moving clips around, we're using our in and out points. Shift 2 goes to the source monitor, Shift 4 goes to the program monitor, Shift 3 timeline, Shift 1 project panel. Alright, so now we're done with our editing. Or more or less. You'll have to edit a lot, but this gives you a glimpse into the basic editing tools.